So the second coming by William Butler Yeats. So as I was talking, it's a very short poem, but its meaning is very deep. And that meaning is based on modernism and what happened to the modern society after the First World War. W.B. Yeats wrote this poem in 1919. And especially when in medieval period, there was a awakening. That means every person was trying to get money. They are trying to get involved to each other. Then in terms of art and literature, Renaissance came, and everyone was going forward to learn various aspects of things. And then we see in history of humanity that we see the advancement of science and technology. Then everyone started to love the science, technology. But in Renaissance, when the people was started loving knowledge, power, and spirituality, love of Almighty, love of God, Creator, everything. But in the 20th century, the society got the scientific advancement, industrialism, and materialism, and people, when scientific knowledge was widening, the people were going far away from the religious belief. They were trying to involve in money-making process. And the world was moving forward to achieve something material, achieve something that will help them physically happy, not mentally happy. So there was a competition among the society at the beginning of 20th century. And the people were running after money. And such kind of capitalistic and materialistic attitude is spread all over the world among the society. So what was the result of this? The result of this is that in 1914, the World War first started. So before that, from the Renaissance perspectives, from the millennium perspectives, from the ethical perspectives, everyone was trying to involve that we should love each other. We should feel brotherly feeling to our fellow mate, fellow person. But everyone was not paying heed to such kind of ethical, such kind of moral comment like that, because society was engrossed in materialistic and capitalistic attitude at the beginning of the 20th century. And the result was that the First World War started. And when the First World War started, it goes up to 1990, 5 years, and it ended in 1919. And in this time, after the First World War, before the First World War, the people were money making. They have the tendency to earn money. They had the capitalistic attitude. They were very busy. They don't have time to speak to you, and don't have time to say hello to you. But After the Second World War, after the First World War, the situation deteriorated vehemently. How? That means after the Second World War, we saw the superpower, American superpower, and the great force. They came in the society and they tried to dominate the all norms and principle of the society. And the society was collapsed, morally, ethically, religiously, and the main aspects that came up with the attitude of modernism, that we will be loving the human being. When scientific advancement started in the society, the people was trying to learn, and especially scientific advancement and Darwin's origin of speech. These two um, advancement in science create a feelings towards the human being that yes, what we should do. Then the people said that we will be loving human being. Okay, there is a creator, God and Almighty, but at the same time, we see we will be loving our loving human being, our fellow man. So that tendency to love human being, it is a modern tendency that we will be more human, you will be more loving to human being. And that is started, that is one of the main principles of modernism. But after the First World War, all principles, especially the good principles of modernism, shattered. And in such a juncture, W.B. Yeats wrote this very short and very effective poem, The Second Coming. The Second Coming is a religious word, and the word is derived from the birth of Jesus Christ. And he was born in Bethlehem, Jerusalem, a city of Jerusalem. Jesus Christ was born, and the Christian people believe that Jesus Christ will once again will be coming 1,000 years later. The Jesus Christ will coming back, and when Jesus Christ will be coming, Jesus Christ will reshape the world. And why reshape the world? Uh, at first, when Jesus Christ was coming, before that, the world was suffering from so many problems, so many moral problems. The people were not loving each other. They were doing some criminal activities, falsehood, and robbery, bribery. So many unethical and irreligious activities was done to the world. And Jesus Christ came and get rid the society from such kind of negative attitude and principles. Christian people believe that the Jesus Christ will come once again, and that is they called a resurrection. And when Jesus Christ will come, Jesus Christ will again uh, move away, will move away the negative thought and principles from the society. It is their belief. And keeping this belief, W.B. Yeats has wrote this poem, but a little bit different. And though I have said that it is a very short poem, but it's very strong in understanding the humanity, the principles, and the attitude of 20th century modern society just after the First World War. Turning and turning the widening gyre. The falcon cannot hear the falconer. In the movie clip, we have seen that a falcon was trying to catch a bird or an animal. But another thing is that this falcon is reared by some person, and they are called falconer. And why people rear falcon? In order to use the falcon to prey animals and fish and other thing as well. So they will rear, the falconer will rear a falcon, and after the falcon getting training, the falcon will fly and catch the animals or the fish and will return to his to its owner, who is the falconer. But in the very first line of the poem, that is turning and turning the widening gyre. Widening gyre, this is a concept of the civilization or the universe that was possessed by William Butler Yeats. Most probably you have read the poem William Wordsworth, Ode to Immortality. In the Ode to Immortality, we have seen that the human being soul started its journey from heaven, and it started gradually, and then children, then young age, then old age, and uh, again then move the soul moves back to heaven. So soul in William Wordsworth, uh, immortality of all, we have seen that soul started a journey, and in a cycle way, it will come back to heaven. And for this reason, we see the similarity between a child and an old man, because child is very close to heaven, and also look here. So if I put a, it is heaven, so soul will be started in such a way, the journey, and then it will move, and it will be old age, and it will reach to heaven. So it will start the journey in such a way. W.B. Yeats believes in the universal universal movement in a cyclic way. So in this cyclic way, the universe will move forward, and through the ups and downs of the society, it will go on. So if it is the starting point of Jesus Christ, so at that time, the society was so bad, so negative. So in such a way, Jesus Christ was born, and all the negative thing was got out of the society. Then the society moves on, moves on, moves on, moves on. And now this is the place. And in this place, the society once again has got corrupted, and so many corruption are there in the society just after the First World War, that W.B. Yeats and with the other Christian people, they have dreamed that it is the time of second coming. That means the second coming, Jesus Christ will come and get rid of the society from such kind of negative things. And this thing, W.B. Yeats has said that the turning and the turning, the widening gyre, the falcon cannot hear the falconer. Who is the falconer? We have understood the falcon. That means it's a birds of prey. But the falconer, birds of prey, falcon understand the speech of its owner, falconer. But W.B. Yeats at the very beginning had understood that there was no command of the society. And for this reason, anybody cannot hear the command of others. Anybody doesn't hear the command of its owner or the senior one or the principals. So in another word, in another critique, falconer might indicates God. And this God's speech, the God's principles are not following by the falcon. That means the people all over the world. And for this reason, the turning and things fall apart. Things fall apart. And as I have said, that it's a very short poem. However, this poem is mentioned by Chinua Achebe in his Things Fall Apart. The title, this very words is the title of Chinua Achebe's Things Fall Apart. And the center cannot hold, and mere anarchy is loosed upon the world. Blood dim tide is loosed, and everyone, the ceremony of innocence is drawn. So very negative situation are there in the society was prevailing after the First World War. 1 to 2 million in the First World War, 1 to 2 million people were killed, and in the Second World War, nearly 4 to 5 million people were killed. So, when at the very beginning of modernism, people will be thinking about more human centric in terms of getting relief from the materialistic society, but in the First World War, we have said millions of people were killed by the anarchy, by the negative mentality of the superpower of the world. And seeing that situation, and especially after the First World War, the society was so many corrupted in principles, in interpersonal relationship, in everything. Anybody doesn't have the time to talk to you, and people are dying, and people are dying without food, people are dying without shelter, but at the same time some people are enjoying their uh, aloof poverty wealth, and they are doing merriments. So seeing such kind of attitude, WB Yeats said that the center cannot help and things fall apart. That means things means all things of the society are falling apart. Anybody can't hear anyone. Okay. So this is the situation. The ceremony of innocence is drawn, the best lack all conviction, while the worst are full of passionate intensity. So the conviction, the faith, the belief, the trust, the confidence, no, nothing were there in the society. So everything was lost. Okay. So as I was speaking that there is a hope. Surely some revelation is at hand. So what is the revelation? As I have said that on the concept of millennialism, so Jesus Christ will come once again to save the society. This is the concept of millennialism. And in some way it is called the concept of resurrection. And in the previous poem, we have said it can also be called Esther. Okay. So surely some revelation is at hand. So the people are hopeful that this uh, negative terms of the society will be removed from the society. So they are waiting for something good that will come to the society, and they will get rid the people from this condition, from this critical condition of the society. So and for this reason, the second stanza started with some hope that surely some revelation is at hand. Surely the second coming is at hand. What does the second coming mean? As as I have told earlier, that is the second coming of Jesus Christ, or the resurrection of Jesus Christ. So Jesus Christ will come and get rid all the people from this pitiable condition. Surely the second coming is at hand. The second coming, hardly are those words out when a vast image out of Spiritus Mundi. Okay, actually, W.B. Yeats perceived that this second coming is not the second coming of Jesus Christ, but it is the indication that a spirit, at a monster is coming, troubles my sight, and he can't understand the shape of the monster. It is a spiritus mundi. This is a Latin word that means the monster. And this monster, what is the shape of this monster? Actually, the negative thing cannot be explained in words. Cannot give a shape of the negative thing of the society that was prevailed after the First World War. And for this reason, Spiritus Mundi was a monster. The monster didn't have a particular shape. and the people of the society was the people of liberal attitude, people of good notion. They were very much surprised to have such kind of attitude in the society. And for this reason, WBA said that, yes, I can see troubles my sight. I can see clearly the spiritus mundi. Somewhere in the center of the desert, a shape with iron body and the head of a man. So it's also a peculiar. Naturally, as I have said, in the concept of modernism, humanistic, the people will be investing. It was one of the principle of modernism. By loving human being, they will be moving forward. That is the upward movement, the modernism. But that principle was shattered, and for this reason, troubles might set somewhat in the sand, in the desert, a shape with a lion body, so peculiar shape, body of a lion and the head of a man, a gaze blank and pitiless as the sun. So what is the spirit of this spiritus mundi? So this spirit has a peculiar shape, and there was no pity. Okay, so pitiless as the sun. As the sun, that means sun in the desert. In the desert, naturally, sunlight is very helpful for the life of animals, plant, and in some cases, many insects. But in the desert, sunlight becomes pitiful and becomes pitiless. And in such a way, the spiritus mundi that was coming, and that shape of a human body and the head of a man. So the blank gaze and the pitiless as the sun is moving in slow thighs, while all about it reels shadows of the indignant desert birds. The darkness drops again. But now I know that 20 centuries of stony sheep were vexed. 20 centuries of stony sleep were vexed to nightmare by the rocking cradle. And what rough beast, it's our calm round at last, slouches towards Bethlehem to be born. So the people, that means thousands of people, the 20th century of stony sleep, that means people were happy, and they were happy of the ideas of modernism. So they are not conscious what was happening towards the society. But when the First World War situation started, then the situation was collapsed. That were vexed to nightmare. So people were dreaming something good for the concept of modernism. They had been dreaming that we will be loving each other, that we will have fellow feeling and everything. But such kind of stony sleep came to a nightmare. So dream has a very positive connotation. That means we dream something different. But when we dream negative dream, that is called the nightmare. So nightmare, this word is also a dream, but that has a very negative connotation. The people of the society was dreaming for a good thing, for the concept of modernism, for the concept of humanism in the 20th century, and that stony sleep became a nightmare for the First World War. And after the First World War, the society was tremendously changed. And the second coming was not the Jesus Christ, but it is a spiritus mundi. That means more severe negative things gonna happen in the society, and that aspects is mentioned by W.B. Yeats. And slouched towards the Bethlehem to be born. So Bethlehem is the place where the Jesus Christ was born. So in that place, the Spirit was going to born, not the Jesus Christ. So the situation was going more negative or more severe, cruel perspectives. Cruel perspective of the society was going to happen. So it is a very short poem, and but it's very important poem in this concept that what happened to the society and what happened to the mentality of the common people as well as the materialistic people, that sentiment was truly pictured by W.B. Yeats within the short gamut, within the short platform of this poem. And for this reason, it is a very good poem. Okay. Most probably you will love it. Okay. So if you have any question, then we can answer the question now.